Hare Krishna.
Zeg je?
Projector.
Haribo. Lekker koud.
Ja.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kanya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Radhadana Anjana Yashodanandana Radhadana Anjana Yashodanandana Radhadana Anjana Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramamsa Parividha Jaya Astotaras Natantishimat is the Vine of Grace Siresi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ESKCON Founder Jaya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jaya Ananti Koti Vaishnavanda Ki Jaya Namacharya Sira Hari Rastakur Ki Jaya Prem Sako Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jaya Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jaya Sri Navadvip Dham Ki Jaya Sri Dwarka Dham Ki Jaya Sri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jaya Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jaya Sri Gaunita Ki Jaya Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jaya Sri Radha Gopinath Aditya Vishaka Devi Ki Jaya Sri Govardhana Puja Festival Ki Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Namo Krishna. Hare Krishna. Janmarya Yatonayat Vitaristastati Shiva Vigat Svara Tene Brahmarira Yarikaviye Muyanti Atsurya Tejo Farimridam Yata Vinimyotra Tisagam Risha Damnasvena Sada Nirastukukam Sacham Param Dimahi Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Which verse is it? 19 or 20?
19.
90. Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Govardhana. Wait 1 second, oh my glasses. Old age. Kritva Govardhana Chalam Dadara Lilaya Vishnu. Het is goed, dank je. Zo behulpzaam altijd. Jatrakam iva balakaha Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Govardhana Chalam Dadara Lilaya Vishnu Chatrakam iva balakaha Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Govardhana Chalam Dadala Lilaya Vishnu Chatrakam iva balakaha. Don't be shy.
Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Govardhana Chalam Dadara Lilaya Vishnu Chatrakam iva balakaha
Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Govardhana Chalam Dala Lilaya Vishnu Chatrakam iva balaka Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Govardhana Chalam Dadara Lilya Vishnu Chatrakam iva balakaha
Weißt du dies?
Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Govardhana Chalam Dadara Lilaya Vishnu Chatrakam iva balaka Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Govardhana Chalam Dadara Lilaya Vishnu Chatrakam iva balaka
Ityukt vaikena hastena Kritva Dadara Lilaya Vishnu Chatrakam iva balaka. Does anyone know it by heart now? It is nice to not go, like, oh, there we go again, but try to remember every time, if you can remember that word, and then it stays fresh, and then you stay alive, awake. Balaka, so, like that. All right. Iti. Thus. Uktva. Having spoken. Ekena. Ekena. Eka with one. With one. Hastena. No, like Hasti is smiling. No, it is hand. I was also surprised. Hastena, please repeat, hand. Kritva. Taking. Govardhana Achalam. Govardhana Hill. Dadar. Yeah, he held, yeah. He held it. And it is a difficult one. Lilaya. No, it says here very easily. I always think I don't know.
Playful.
Huh?
It's like playful.
Playful, very easy. Lilaya, acha. Yeah, then it makes sense. Vishnu. Lord Vishnu. Chatrakam. A mushroom. Swa. Just as. Balakaha. Bala, like a child. Bala is child. Balaka is also a child. Translation. Having said this, what did he say? I will read what he said before. I must therefore protect the coward community by my transcendental potencies, for I am their shelter, I am their master, and indeed, they are my own family. After all, I've taken a vow to protect my devotees. So, having said this, Lord Krishna, who is Vishnu himself, picked up Govardhana Hill with one hand and held it aloft just as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. It is confirmed in the Harivamsa that Sri Krishna picked up the Govardhana mountain with his left hand. Sadrita sangato megar giri sayena panina. With his left hand, he picked up that mountain which was touching the clouds. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when Lord Krishna was preparing to lift Govardhana Hill, a partial expansion of his Yogamaya potency, named Samhariki, temporarily removed all the rain from the sky, so that as he ran very swiftly from the porch of his house to the mountain, neither his turban nor other garments became wet. I've never realized that, because we always we pray and when we perform the pastime, we're all shivering and like that, and there's like and they're singing also like it falls like sharpened arrows, along with heavy wind, and but apparently it's not there anymore, or maybe afterwards. All right. Om Agyan Timaram Dasha Gyanam Jana Salakiya Chakshuryan Tasmai Sikhi Maha Sikitanya Mano Vistam Stavitani Putale Swayam Padati Swapakam Tapta Kachana Gorangi Radhe Vindafanishwari Vristavan Sutri Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dinobandhu Jagapate, Gopasha Gopakam Varara Kantanamostate, Namo Brahmai Devaya Go Brahmani Taicha, Yagatitai Krishna Govandaya Namo Namaha. So, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is well known for performing amazing pastimes. And that's why people can accept him as the Supreme Lord, because no one else is able to perform these pastimes. So there are different relationships you can have, desire to have with Krishna, to be a servant of him, or to be a friend of him, or to be a son of him, or to feel like a father or mother towards him. So this month, the Damodar Lila and Govardhana Lila, it's Krishna as a child. And Krishna as a child, as a mother, as father, especially the mother, they're always worried about their child. They don't get drowned, they don't get an accident, they don't break their leg. Oh, get out of the tree, or whatever. There's no cars in the spiritual world, but, be careful of that horse. And so from his child, from the moment he was born, there was anxiety there's Putana who wants to poison him, and then there's a demon who lifts up into the sky, and Mother Yasoda is all in anxiety. And so, if you want to have a relationship with Krishna, you must be prepared to be in anxiety. And also, as devotees, if you're not sometimes in stress or in anxiety, that means there's something wrong. Because you failed your last test when Krishna gave you anxiety and stress from how to handle that situation. And if you fail it, if you say, oh, I can't take it anymore, then he leaves you alone for a few years, for a few months, and he gives you the same test. Life, as a devotee, is meant to purify ourselves. And every time, like you have if you go to college, you have the first grade, second grade. So there's a test coming. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to freak out? Are you going to take shelter of Krishna? Are you going to chant? Or are you going to bloop? If you lost your faith in Krishna, like that. Anything can happen as a devotee. Your child dies. Oh, Krishna doesn't, I don't believe in Krishna anymore. How can my child die? It's a test. Become detached. Anything. Devotees are treating you not nice. It's all that you need to become humble and, not attached. You're not attached to the result. For me, I'm very attached to the result. So that's very difficult if it's less to my standard, and I get annoyed, frustrated. Like me performing about 50 years a performance, only about 12 times I was happy afterwards. And generally it's, okay, I have to do it. I have to serve. It's not for my pleasure, it's to serve. In the material world, if you're in theater, lights are perfect. Sound is perfect. All the voices are perfect. But the soul doesn't get satisfied. And in performing in ISKCON, light, sound, but the soul still gets satisfied. But I want to be sometimes, more than afterwards you feel really, it was so good. Because pastimes for an actor is to put the audience so that they really get into this pastime, and that they really touch, they cry, or they laugh, and that is the perfection of a performer, to make people laugh, to touch their heart. And if you do it in a Krishna Lila, they get purified. If you do it in the material world, you just entertain them, but they don't get purified really. So all the pastimes of the Lord, look at Lord Ramachandra, have to be banished and in a forest, and Sita has to come along. Look at Mother Kunti, trouble, trouble, trouble. So don't be discouraged when there's another test coming, and just see how you can cope with it. And if not, you can pray to Krishna and say, oh, this one is a little too heavy. maybe a little while leave me so I get ready for it. You can speak to Krishna. He's a person. You can even be angry with him. So one time I was angry with Krishna. There was one time I was invited by a devotee who I performed with the boatman and the scholar at a festival in Radhayatra in Copenhagen and in London. He became the personal assistant of the temple president. Don't I speak too fast? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. He became the personal assistant of the temple president in Johannesburg. And he suddenly sent me an email. He said, Prabhu, I'm now the PA, and there's Radhayatra coming on the 2nd of December, and we would like to invite you. I said, oh, wonderful, out of the winter, 2nd December in Johannesburg, never been there. I said, wonderful. I said, did I say this thing before or not? I don't know if I told this before. Anyway, so I said, if you find me a girl who is together, then she can play the Sankirtan girl in the Dracula play. Sankirtan girl meets Dracula, and he goes off with the Bhagavad Gita and Prasadam. and will come to the Sunday feast at the end of the play. And I said, if you find me some dancers, I can sing also some songs with a chorus. I said, yes. So he sent me the emails, and I'll send them the audio and the lyrics. And I'm waiting. And then I hear news, well, the Sankirtan girl, she can't take part. I have to find another one. Then he found another one. And she also couldn't make it. Then I get a letter from him. And he said, Prabhu, I'm so sorry. I've just been offered a job in Uganda. I won't even be here. I don't know anyone there, you know, and I only had 3 people responding. And then I lost all interest to go there, and I became annoyed with Krishna. I said, why are you doing this? You know, it's like you're sabotaging me. You know, I'm trying to perform a play, you know, the Dracula play, where the Bhagavad Gita is clearly explained, you know, just for the pleasure of the devotees and to attract newcomers to your movement. Why are you doing this? And then suddenly I realized, maybe you have a plan. And then I said, okay, I will go there, I will do my utmost best. But if it doesn't work out, in other words, if the play doesn't go out well, then you're to blame. Something like that, you know, I suppose. And I became peaceful. So I went there. And it was on a Monday. And I said, tonight we have the first rehearsal. I had only 3 people, after Sudararti. And he said, oh, sorry, Prabhu, we have a preaching engagement tonight. My mind goes, I told Krishna, I'm not going to be angry anymore. I just go with the flow. I don't want to be angry anymore. So I said, okay, I'm coming with you. So I went to this preaching engagement. They asked me to give a talk. And afterwards I said, anyone here who likes to take part in the chorus? And a Grihastha couple raised up their hand, and I had 5. So the next day we had a rehearsal. One girl was very good. The next day her father called. I'm so sorry, she flaunted her exams. She can't be in the play. My mind goes, no. I write to everyone in South Africa and ask them to ask everyone in South Africa who like to take part. So someone said, I have 3 girls in Soweto. Soweto is a village near Johannesburg, a black village, but they can't come out in the evening because they might get killed and raped. So they came in the daytime. And as you know, black people, they have movement, and they scream, and they have rhythm, and they were like the Supreme, let's go and let's chant the holy name. They were perfect. So then I found a 3rd Sankirtan girl. Most of you know her, Sararia Rasa. She's now professor in Oxford. Sararia Rasa. So she was perfect. She was the best ever Sankirtan girl. And, he found a replacement for the boatman. And he said, yes, I'm going to be there, Prabhu. And then one day before, he also wrote to me, oh, I'm so sorry. I was supposed to go on a holiday with my friend. I will be there in a week. He came, but he also absorbed all my directions. And he was superb. So it was, all the performances were superb. Because why? Because I became detached. I just tried my best, and I worked as hard as I could, but I was detached from the result. Didn't want to be angry. So the next year, I was invited by Vrindavan, and I thought, great, many devotees will see me, I'll get invitations. I couldn't find anyone, and then at one point, I was singing songs with the video backgrounds, and then I realized that the video wasn't working. And I wanted to crawl into the ground. And then Guru Das, my elder brother, he said, Prabhu, don't worry, it's just a technical thing. Because if something like this happens, you think, oh, maybe Krishna doesn't want me to perform these songs in Vrindavan, my mind goes, He said, when we staged our first Ratha Yatra festival, one of the wheels fell off. So they were thinking, oh, it's our fault, we're Maya, that's why And then Prabhupada said, oh, it's just a technical thing. But maybe it wasn't, but just to pacify them. Just a technical thing. So like that. So the pastimes of the Lord. If Krishna is dancing on Kaliya's serpent, Mother Yasoda is completely so much in anxiety, almost fainting. And everyone, not Mother Yasoda, not only the women, also the Gopas and the little boys, everyone was in anxiety, anxiety. Oh Krishna, oh Krishna. So if you want to take part in these pastimes of the Lord here, when first time you have to go somewhere in the material world, be ready. Like that. But then, what is so nice about it, at the end, Krishna is always glorious. And then everyone is, Jai, oh, Sri Krishna ki, Jai. Like that. But then, immediately after that, they forget again. And think that Krishna is one of them. My little boy, my friend, my paramour, like that. So that's the amazing in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So let me see something. Where's the process? Yes. So tonight we're going to perform the Lila, Govardhana Lila, and I want all of you to sing along. The lyrics will be on the screen, and how more you take part, how more joyful it will be. It's like that. So we had just Guru Puja, and it was joyful because everyone was dancing. So if you type in the Wikipedia, if you type dancing, chanting, dancing, there are so many quotes of Prabhupada. This Krishna consciousness is chanting, dancing, and feasting, and a little philosophy. And if you type it in, and you will see so many things. Krishna consciousness is just chanting, dancing, and feasting. My god sister Mokshi Lakshmi, someone posted a quote from her where she said, Prabhupada said, this movement is nothing without prasadam, or it's based upon prasadam, or it's nothing without prasadam. A prasadam should be very opulent. So when I joined the temple in 73, they were very poor. They got all their boga from the wholesale place where the vegetable shops, grocery shops, purchased their fruit and vegetables. And they made a 10-course feast, with paneer and everything cooked in ghee. And sometimes temple thinks, oh, we don't have money enough, we can't afford it. I visited this year several temples and they had Gauri-Tai deities, but they only had garlands on Sunday. There are many temples like that. So I said, just give them every day a garland, and don't be afraid that you can't afford it. Money will come. Of course, Krishna will respond. How more opulent you worship the deity, how more opulence will come to you. If you desire as a pujari or whatever, it will come to you. When I was a pujari in the manor, Kulananda had a silver flute, but not a golden flute. It was sprayed golden, and it was too big for his hand, so it scraped his hand. So I didn't like to put it in, but I still like to match it with the jewelry, etc., etc. So the one day after putting them to rest in the afternoon, on the money box was hot pink paper, which means gold. The jewelers put golden things in hot pink, I don't know why. And it was a little golden flute. So then Gokulananda didn't have golden ankle bells, so which I desired. So then one Mataji, a jeweler, an Hindu Mataji, jeweler, she said, Prabhuji, I like to offer something to Gokulananda for Janmashtami. I said, how about golden ankle bells? And she said, oh, how nice. So then she brought them, and I put them on Gokulananda, and she was like, and she made them for Radharani, Nityananda, Chaitanya, Sita Ram, Lakshmana and Hanuman, and Gauritai. Yeah, for everyone. So whatever I desired as a pujari, it came to me. And sometimes temples in the old times, that they didn't know how to pay the rent for the next month. And then just someone came in the temple room, they had never seen him before, and they put an envelope there and goes out. And in the envelope is the exact amount of the rent. Or a Sankirtan devotee is on the street, and someone, also a gentleman, hands him an envelope with Lakshmi. So in this way, I'll tell those temple presidents who only worship them with a garland on Sunday, please do. And now some of them, they do, and they said, yes. And we collect more on Sankirtan, they said. So that was, where was that? In Bergen in Norway. So it's like that, you know. For the deity has to be worshipped as God. And then first-class fruits, first-class vegetables, you know, and nothing, you know, old or moldy or so, first class. And how more opulent you worship them, how more things, how more Lakshmi come in. But we have also a voice to ask. In many temples, when I give the Sunday afternoon class, I said, I quote Patram Puspam Phalam Toyam. If you offer me with love and devotion, a flower, a fruit, you know, what, I will accept it. So I'll tell them, the next time this is a poor temple, if it's a poor temple, I said, next time, please bring some flowers, you know. And in the manor, we get lots of boga. Boga is non-offered food. And many bags of chapati flour, too many. So I told them, if I see someone bringing in a chapati bag of chapati, I said, excuse me, thank you very much for, you know, for bringing this, but we have already enough chapati flour. Can you next time bring some avocados or a pineapple? Oh, yes. Or mangoes, you know, and then you bring it. So you have a mouth to ask. If you're president, at the manor also, they had a reception book. And there they ask all the guests who come to put their name, address, and their profession. So you see, oh, he's a plumber. Oh, he's a, you know, the plumbing is gone. Excuse me, hi, Haribol. We have some problems with the plumbing. Is it possible for you to, we don't have much money at the moment, but would you be able to come? Maybe pay a little? Oh, no, we will do it for free. If you treat the guests nicely, if you give them prasadam and speak to them, then it's reciprocation. The way you treat them, they will treat you back. You know, if you're loving, then they are loving to you. And if you're generous, they will be generous to you, only if they're very, how say that? I don't forgot the word, but not so like that. Not so nice people. So it's like that. So there's no shortage. Prabhupada said, Lakshmi, you can just take from the air. It just comes. So Krishna consciousness, for me, you know, it's a festival. I like festivals, and I like lots of people. And in the morning, it's always peaceful. So, but in the daytime, I like dancing and singing, and festival. And in the old days, my godbrothers, some of my godbrothers, Mahavija and Mrigapati, they were very, very the best book distributors. They were very passionate. They were, before the shops were open, they had 2 bags of books like this, like a donkey. And they were wearing it, they were ready. And when they came back from Sankirtan, Mongol Arti, they almost hit the ceiling, going up and down. And I myself, at that time, was thinking, can it be a little more relaxed? You know? And now, I think sometimes, but Tulsi Arti, you know, when no one is dancing, it looks like a funeral, you know. It should be joyful. And Prabhupada said, even if you don't feel like dancing, just do it. The happiness will come afterwards. Because after all, you don't dance for your pleasure, you dance for their pleasure. And if you dance in the same mood, not everyone going this and out of time. 1, 2, 3 with the cartons. 1, 2, 3, samsara dava, in the mood. And then it's a pleasure for the deities to watch you. Otherwise they get dizzy with all these people. Like that. They're persons, they have feelings, and they have taste, and they have the highest taste. So we should do our utmost best to raise our standards, to give pleasure to them. And Krishna consciousness is all about trying to please the Lordship and the Guru, Srila Prabhupada. And like that you get the mercy. And Krishna consciousness, you don't get it by reading, studying all the books. You don't get it by performing great austerities. It is given to you. It's a revelation, inspiration from the Spirit. It comes to you by its own accord because He is pleased with you. And then you get this and this, you get things, thoughts, how to improve, like that. And the Guru is there, and he guides you. People never talk about dreams. There's one, I had a few dreams of Prabhupada, and one very significant one. One time I was dreaming, it's already like 7 or 10 years ago. I said it on Prabhupada Disappearance Day in the manor. Normally we don't talk about dreams. But anyway, this dream was very significant. And so someone picked me up from the airport, and I drove, and suddenly I saw Prabhupada coming out of one of those houses before you go to Radlet, before you go to the manor. And I said, stop, Prabhupada is there. So I went out of the car, and then we sat down in the courtyard. So Prabhupada was there, and then I said, because I was never to be able to do any service to Prabhupada, personal service, I said, Prabhupada, can I give you a massage? He said, oh yes. He went like this. I said, no, just leave it. So he opened it, and I put my hands in his arms, and I massaged his hands. And I suddenly feel like if you have a scratch, you feel like, it's a little harder there. So then I went here, and then suddenly I felt a lump. Anyway, then it was finished. And like in dreams, so he was sitting there, I was sitting here. Suddenly a gypsy woman with something where you catch butterflies with, a net, So she had some coins in it, and she went in between Prabhupada and me. And I, being very quickly angry, I went like, ah! And the Lakshmi fell on the ground. And Prabhupada looked at me. You know how he looked at me? He didn't look like this. He looked full of compassion, and he said to me, if you can only be as clean from the inside as from the outside. Now, as you see, I'm very baka clean, but inside, getting there, but a long time to go. So that's why I want to share with you, just, that is not like me. No, that he puts me in his place, but very lovingly, and so then afterwards, I was amazed about that it felt so live, this lump that I felt. So I wrote to Shruti Kirti and Hari Sori, who were the servants of Prabhupada. I said, did Prabhupada have something here? And then one said, yes, one on the left side, one on the right side. He has like a mushroom, how do you call that? It's brown, but then a form of a mushroom here, or one of those sides. Good. And Hari Sori showed me a picture where Prabhupada is in a gamsha, and he has one here, clearly visible. But then I realized I've seen that picture once. But it was so, so it felt so live, so real, just like you feel like you're chased by, or you're drowning. It felt really real. So that one I share with you, just that the Lord and Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya, anyone can help, come and give you advice. I was in Mayapur one time, and a brahmachari came to me. And he said, Prabhu, can I tell you, I had a dream. I said, oh yes? Yes. You know, I was sent by my Guru Maharaj, Bhattacharya Maharaj, to, I think it was Leicester. No, Birmingham. And to do book distribution. But I could only sell 3 or 4 books. You know, the English, they're very proud. And I couldn't stop them. So I was praying to Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj had sent me here to distribute books, but I'll only do 3 or 4 books. And then he had a dream, but I don't remember if it was the Murti who spoke to him or Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said to him, I haven't been changed for 21 days. If you take care of me, I take care of you. So then he went to the head pujari. He says, Prabhu, how are you? He said, oh, Prabhu, I'm so busy. You know, I haven't changed Prabhupada's Murti for 21 days. Shall I help you? Shall I do it? Yes, don't tell the temple president. Anyway, he started doing it. And from that day on, he distributed 40, 50 books a day. And then the president came to find out, and he said, oh, yes, many things happened with this Prabhupada Murti. So Prabhupada, it's not a statue, it's alive. And if you treat him alive, you know, there was a story in New Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, they have like here tourists coming. So one lady came with a bag, looking at the palace. Oh, beautiful. She were in front of Prabhupada. Suddenly she heard a voice. Take my shoes. She saw only Prabhupada because he was the last one there in the row. And she didn't know where the voice came from. Suddenly, take my shoes. Suddenly she realized it came from him. So she took the slippers and put them in her bag. So she went home. So many, many years later, because at that time, the one in charge of Vrindavan, they put a crown on Prabhupada, and they had all kinds of concoctions. And so Prabhupada can leave, just like if you don't treat the deity nice, he can also leave. Then you just have a form, but he's not there anymore. So then many, many years later, when that temple came back to our society, following properly, she had this dream. Now you can bring them back. So she didn't go to the temple, but there was a Hare Krishna place somewhere, either a shop, and she brought them to them, explained it, and they were given back. So, you know, nothing is impossible in devotional service, in devotional life. There are so many miracles can happen to you. And it's only if you have to be true and honest. You can be in Maya. There was this Mataji in Mayapur. She was standing in Lord Singadev, and she heard a voice, I want my eyes back. Because he had originally, I think, red eyes, and they replaced them with yellow eyes. And, you know, she never attended Mongol Arati, and she said, I'm in Maya, and, you know, then she told the Pujari, and he put them back. So even if you're in Maya, and, you know, the Lord can speak to you, they are completely free to choose anyone I choose. You know, Krishna says to Lord Indra, I can show my favor to anyone I choose, or even chastise, you know. For no one is superior to me. So the Lord, he's completely free to do anything and to treat you as dirt, or to you know, some devotees, he makes them rich, and some he takes all the money away. Some he makes them healthier, and some he makes them sicker. You just have to surrender to it. You know, we are a servant, and whatever is due to my karma, and whatever, you know, is you want me to do, then I have to tolerate. I myself, I don't like it. I don't like suffering. I don't like disease. But you just have to tolerate it. Any question? What time is it? Oh my God, for half an hour. Any question? About Govardhana Lila, about Damodarastakam, or about anything I said? Yes, Prabhu. Loud, I'm a little deaf.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Yeah, I heard it.
inspiring. I remember the Govardhana Lila in Antwerpen.
In
Antwerpen.
Antwerpen.
You made this in this hall. You made the Govardhana Lila with the children of the Indian congregation and so.
Oh, yes, yes.
You remember?
I remember Sudama more, but Govardhana, yes.
Yeah, that's
I remember.
and the songs are very nice. And those, I find it really like perfection, you know, because you said many times things are imperfect, the sound was not good, and this, but this was quite wonderful. So so I think that was a little bit of perfection what you did there.
But generally, the audience always think it's wonderful. But I know how it can be. So then I always get, you know, it's like if you're an artist, you know, others think, oh, beautiful, but you think, oh, his hand is not painted that well. Or so you can see the imperfections while others might not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But thank you. Yes. And we did a Sudama play there also. That was very nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Anyone else? Question? I have 1/2 hour to fill. Yeah, here. Okay, you.
So thank you very much for the presentation. You spoke about that aspect of coming to Krishna and to be prepared to be in anxiety, and also to prepare to accept whatever Krishna has for us if we get sick or healthy or rich or poor, and we need to surrender. But I feel sometimes on this way of surrender and tolerating, there's a reaction of the mind, there's a reaction of the body, and maybe you could say a bit more on this tension which can build up to go more towards tolerance and surrender.
Yeah, it's sometimes like you have an exam, sometimes you succeed and sometimes you fail. You know, you might be great at one test and the next test not, and then following test you're good again. It's whatever your state of mind is at that time. You know, if you're already disturbed, you become more disturbed. But if you're peaceful, it's different every time. How you react, how your consciousness. It's to do with your consciousness, but it's all about if something happens to you that nothing happens without the Lord's will. And then you don't get angry at people. They might be, you know, like, he's doing that to me, but he won't be doing that to you if Krishna doesn't allow it to do, you know. He will get a heart attack or whatever. If someone comes with a knife to you, then either, you know, Krishna saves you or you can protect yourself, of course. And but at the same time, he could have make him lame, that he drops the weapon or he gets a heart attack. Anything can happen. But you know, sometimes, like in Africa, Uganda, there were Sankirtan devotees, and Idi Amin, there was this dictator, and he was killing anyone, and so a group of soldiers wanted to kill the Sankirtan devotees, the brahmacharis. There was one god sister there, and she stood in front of the brahmacharis and said, "No, you can't kill them." But then they shot her. So she could have chosen, let all the brahmacharis be killed and her spared, but she decided she couldn't tolerate it. Yes. Any other question? Okay, pass it on.
Well, it's not so much a question, but some experience I had with my Srila Prabhupada Murti, which I had received from Jai Bhadra maybe 25 years ago. And I had bathed him, And then I thought, wow, he looks so nice and peaceful. And so I thought, let me make a picture. And then I sent it to Jayabhadra so that he's doing well, you know. And then I thought, let me also make a picture from the side. So I made a picture from the side. And then when I looked at the pictures on my phone, then his eyes were to the side. And I, what is this? I got chills. Or his eyes had moved to the side,
Yes.
like, so
Yes,
he moved.
That can happen.
Yeah.
There is, you know, all the devotees know Tribhuvannath Prabhu. So Tribhuvannath, when he got sick and he was almost dying, Tribhuvannath, if I could bring back one godbrother, it would be him. When I go to the manor, used to go to the manor, then I come, they pick me up, they put me in a bed, but he just comes. And the guest master didn't like that, you know. So I found him sleeping in the laundry room, near, you know, where it's warm, on the bags of laundry, or in the library room, on the floor near the heater. Very renounced. Everyone loved him, and all the women wanted to marry him, isn't it? Yes, he made so many devotees. He went preaching in Africa, and at night he stayed awake to guard the devotees. Oh, when I saw him, you know, and in the evening we had Maha together, and he was telling Prabhupada stories. And I said, please write them down. I said, let someone else write them down. But he got not around to do, he didn't. One quote of him, of Prabhupada said, he said, Krishna consciousness is so easy. How did it go again?
So simple you could miss it.
So simple, you miss it.
You could miss it.
Yeah, Krishna consciousness is so simple. So simple that you miss it. Oh, is that it? It's very easy. Chant, dance, and be happy, and take prasadam. Like that. And so he was standing in front of the deities are here, and he was standing here, and some devotee entered here, and he looked at the deities, and he saw Gokulananda's eyes looking at Tribhuvannath. So that can happen. You know, the deities can speak to you, just like the story of Sakshi Gopal. You know, when the young Brahmin said, my dear Gopal, please bear witness, you know, you were the witness to the promise of this elderly Brahmin, so please come with me to my village so that they believe my word, because they tell that I was a liar, so please come. And then the deity spoke, and he said, well, I've never heard of a deity talking, of a walking. He said, well, if you can talk, you can also walk. So then the Lord and the deity, he went off the altar, and he said, don't look behind you, I'm behind you, I'm following you, you can hear the sound of my ankle bells, but if you turn around, I will stop at that place. So then, you know, then he went. So like, his name is Sakshi, which means witness, Gopal. So there's lots of miracles in our society which you don't know or which you haven't heard of, and maybe you've experienced it yourself. So Krishna consciousness is exciting, you know, and if you always remember that Krishna is in control and that nothing happens without his will, then you become peaceful, like that. And then it's as soon as you become attached and detached, or attached, then you become grumpy and sad and like that. Any other questions?
I wanted to also say a story about somebody who had a dream. One devotee had a dream about Prabhupada, because he was actually dealing with, he's a temple president somewhere, and I don't want to mention his name, but anyway, and he was very angry. There was one devotee disturbing him a lot, and it was very difficult. And he was so discouraged, and he said, Prabhupada, what do I need to do with this? I'm really, I don't know, I'm, you know, desperate about, he didn't know what to do with this devotee, because this devotee was so disturbing, offensive, disturbing, I don't know exactly details. And then that night, then he had a dream, and Prabhupada, he came from his Vyasasam, and he was sitting in the kitchen somewhere, this devotee. He went to this devotee in the kitchen, and he told him, and he went to sit next to him, and he said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of this, don't worry, it's gonna be fine." And then he left, and he went back through the temple room on the Vyasasam, Prabhupada. And then next day, he got a phone call from this devotee, and this devotee told him, "I'm so sorry, I have been so rude to you and so disturbing for everybody. I'm so sorry, I my apologies." And that was really Prabhupada's arrangement, and that he helped him in this way. So
it's
beautiful.
all about faith and thank you. To have faith and to be tolerant like that. Oh, but it's now 1:45. If anyone has another question, then we will stop the class. If anyone else? Oh yes.
You said that.
Ietsje dichter bij je mond, ja.
You said when you tolerate sickness, bad things. How do you tolerate? Because it's easy to say, "Oh, just tolerate," but how do you tolerate things?
Yeah, to tolerate is that you don't go away. To tolerate and then think. Also, there's a nice story about toleration. There's one person went into a cab in front of the station, and the driver was about to get out, to go on the road, and then another car went by him, and not only that, he hurled abuse to him. And what did the driver say? He didn't lift up his hand or a finger. He opened the window, he didn't scream, he said, "Have a nice day." So the man, the passenger, he said, after a while, he said, "Excuse me, I'm just amazed. This man hurled abuse at you, he cut you off, and you wished him a happy day." He said, "Well, you should know that everyone carries a bag with him. Maybe he just had a fight with his wife, or he got fired, or whatever. So he dumps it at the first person he meets. So it had nothing to do with you. He just wanted to get rid of his frustration and just, you happened in your way like this." There's a story about that, right? About he happened to be in his way. What was that? It was maybe Hanuman. Yeah, no. He was in his way. Yeah. Anyway, so I forgot the story now. What did I just say? So don't take it personal. That person, maybe zoals as we say in Dutch. Hij is uit een bed met zijn verkeerde voet gestapt uit het bed. He got out of bed with his wrong leg. You're supposed actually, if you get out of a bed, if you're sleeping in a bed, with your right leg. Like that. It's more auspicious.
I think she also means physical pain.
Ik sta je niet. Ja, dus dat je niet ziet dat die persoon, that the person who is not nice to you, see that he might have just had a fight or...
Yeah, but what I mean is more the physical pain.
Yeah.
When you can't do the things.
We all suffer, and especially if you get older, wait till you're 70, If I get off this chair now, then, I put this here to put some support to my back. And I look a little vital, but inside not. I have all kinds of aches and pains, but you just have to tolerate it, that some has more. Compared to others, they have much more pain. I know the devotee is all day in pain, and she doesn't, you don't see it on her face. If I have a little pain, you notice it. I go, Yeah, but she never. Only if she's really, really painful, then she just goes like, and I say, "Are you okay?" Yes. Maharaj, Kadamba Maharaj, almost dying. He had a raving kirtan. We were on the down square, right at the end, and he went like, I said, "It's okay." I said, "I have some ulcers." Can you imagine going on Harinam with some ulcers and dance like a madman? Tolerance. Okay? Thank you very much. All glories to Govardhana Hill. What?
I just wanted to say that. Yeah, it's like,
Wacht even.
Like Prabhu was saying, you've got to see Krishna's hand in everything. So there's a reason, we can't always understand the reason, but if we accept that and we turn to Krishna, we call to Krishna, we talk to Krishna, we cry to Krishna, but we see his hand, then somehow or other you'll be able to tolerate. Ask for the help, ask for the strength to do it. Yeah.
By the way, this is Mother Janaki, and my god sister. In the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, I was living at a manor, and she too, and we were both part of the Bhaktivedanta players. And she played Mother Sita, and I was the Tayu, and many other plays. And the boys who played the monkeys at that time, they are now the leaders of the Bhaktivedanta play. Punatattva wants to say something more. Okay, can you pass it on?
Let's ask a question. If you
One second.
I just want to ask a question. If you have seen some time, that maybe you can tell the story about the king who was missing his finger.
Yeah.
That it's all the mercy of the Lord.
Yeah. So one time, a king, he had a court jester. Every king has a court jester to make fun of him, to give him entertainment. So one time, he lost, I forgot that. Maybe you can tell the story.
Okay, yeah.
Tell the story.
Yeah, that king, he was very, very proud on his body. He was very handsome, and every morning when he wake up, he looks in the mirror, and he was glorifying himself. And he had a minister, and this minister had the tendency that everything but something bad happened, then he said, "This is the mercy of the Lord. This is the mercy of the Lord." So one day the king, he came with his finger between the door. So somebody closed the door and his finger was there. And so then part of his finger was cut off. And the king was so depressed because now his beautiful body was damaged. So then the minister, actually he came in that morning to have a conversation with the king. And the king, he was very morose and he was sitting. He said, "Sir, what is happening with you? You look really like disturbed." He said, "Look what happened." And he shows his finger. He said, "It is cut off now, my body." He said, "This is the mercy of the Lord. This is the mercy of the Lord." And the king, he got so angry because he was frustrated. And he called his waiters and he said, "Throw this minister in the prison. I don't want to see his face anymore." So months passed by and then the jachtseizoen? Hunting season opened. And normally the king, he went with this minister on hunting. So, but the king was still angry at him. He said, "I'm not going to relieve that person." So then he took somebody else and they went on hunting. That during the hunt, there was there were dacoits and who were worshipping the goddess Kali. So they attacked the king and his helper and they imprisoned them and they was planning to offer him as a sacrifice to the goddess Kali. So he was washed and he was put nice dress and put on the altar. And then the priest, he put on his knife and ready to kill the king. And then at that moment he saw from his corner that the pink was missing. He said, "This sacrifice is not worthy. It's not complete. We almost make an offense to the goddess Kali." So then they took him from the altar and they kicked him out. He said, "You're useless." Yeah. So then he went very happily, he went back to the palace. And he immediately let the minister release. He said, "Now I understand actually that actually this will the mercy of the Lord.
Yeah.
He said, but still I have one question, he said. He said, actually that I lost my pink, I understand now.
Yeah.
That was the mercy of the Lord. He said, but you were suffering for so many months in the jail. He said, how you call this the mercy of the Lord? He said, well, if I had gone with you on hunting, they had killed me for sacrifice.
Zo, begrijp je het? Dus there is always a reason, and there's a reason for it, and you could be worse off. Actually, it's just like that.
If you miss the airplane,
Yeah.
you should always think, maybe this airplane might be...
It could always be worse. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
And everyone, please. Krishna performs. There are all kinds of performances or abhisheks, etc. Try to attend. Try to attend at its festival. Don't chant your rounds while something is happening. That is, Krishna is there, so he wants you all to be there as well. It's just like if you have a birthday and everyone is glorifying you somewhere there and no one is in your living room to celebrate with you. These pastimes are there for us to attend and become purified. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.